When the internet began, bulletin board services, or BBS, became the first online communities of the so-called information superhighway. Using their phone lines, people logged in from all over America to talk about sports, games, movies, and on one BBS in particular, share their ghost stories. Over time, those communities all went dark, except for one lone server that continues to operate somewhere in an unknown part of Pennsylvania's Rust Belt. A relic of the 1990s, veiled in mystery, it is a digital archive of humanity's strangest encounters with the unknown, as told by the people who experienced them. My name is Brandon Schexnayder, and you are listening to Fear Daily.
Subject: the field behind the mall. User: xterryxfried11. Posted June 13th, 1997.
Jesus Christ, man. I can't... I can't get the sound out of my head. That clicking, it's still in my ears like it crawled inside my skull and set up camp. And Russ is gone. There wasn't even enough of him left to run from. Just red sprayed all over the weeds like someone upended a goddamn paint can. I didn't think we'd make it out. I swear, I thought it was gonna rip all of us apart. Okay, let me back up. I'm shaking, but I'll tell you how it went. We always hung at the mall parking lot. Everyone else went to parties or the movies, but we didn't get invited to that shit, so this cracked up asphalt, that was ours. Danny brought a couple beers. Crystal had smokes. Russ tagged along, 'cause he always tagged along. Boombox on the curb. Battery about to die, but we didn't care. Behind the mall was this big-ass field. Black at night, nothing but weeds and bugs. Nobody went in there, not even stray dogs. It felt wrong somehow, like a place you just didn't walk into, but Russ wandered off anyway. Said he had to piss. We figured he'd be back in 5 minutes. 20 went by, and no Russ. His bag was still by the curb, so Crystal got spooked. We grabbed a flashlight and went after him. And that's when everything went to shit. We ducked through this cut fence behind the dumpsters, the grass swallowing us waist deep. Flashlight beam was shaking like crazy because my hands wouldn't stay still. It was quiet, dead quiet, except for the freeway hum, and then we found the spirals. I'm not kidding. The weeds were laid down in perfect circles, spirals cutting into each other like someone rolled a giant wheel through, big enough to park trucks in. Russ wasn't there, but something was. And then that click. It was soft, like a bug clicking its wings. Then again, louder, click, click, like it was right behind us. Danny said it was Russ fucking around. He yelled his name, and that's when the thing moved. The weeds split open 20 feet away, bending low like something heavy was crawling under them, not walking, crawling fast. We swung the light, and for half a second I saw it, and Christ, I wish I hadn't. It was pale, too pale, like meat gone bad, arms too long, bent wrong, pulling itself forward on elbows like a spider, head jerking, mouth full of teeth it didn't need, eyes black and wet, no whites, just pits. It smelled like iron and rot. Crystal screamed. That thing clicked again, but louder, like bones snapping in rhythm, and then it came at us. We ran, grass cutting our legs, weeds smacking our faces. I could hear it crawling behind, faster than we could move. Danny tripped and went down, flashlight bouncing. I swear I thought he was done, but Crystal grabbed him up, screaming, dragging him forward, and then we heard Russ. Not alive Russ, not really. The sound came from the field, all around us, his voice bubbling, choking, calling our names. Help! Help me! But the flashlight caught all that was left of him. Half his body propped up in the weeds, chest torn open like someone scooped him out. His ribs were gone. Just a red pit. His head lolled, eyes still moving, mouth dripping. He tried to sit up when he saw us. Christ, man, he tried to sit up. The thing tore him back down. I saw it clamp those two long arms around him and yank him under, and blood sprayed up, hit me across the face, warm and metallic. His scream gurgled into nothing. I don't even remember running after that. Just panic, bodies crashing through weeds, the clicking chasing us, getting closer. Crystal fell again, and Danny grabbed her, dragging her by the wrist, both of them screaming. I thought for sure we were going to die out there. And we hit the fence, tore through the gap. Danny dropped the flashlight. It didn't matter. We weren't stopping. That thing slammed into the chain link behind us, rattling the whole damn fence. I saw fingers, long pale fingers curling through the diamonds, pulling, trying to rip through. The metal cut into its skin, but it did not care. Black blood smeared down the fence as it thrashed. We got to the lot, lungs on fire, clothes soaked with sweat and Russ's blood. The mall lights looked like heaven, even though half of them were burned out, and we didn't talk. We couldn't talk. We just stood there, shaking, staring at that hole in the fence. Nothing came out. Not then. Russ was gone, torn apart, sucked dry, whatever the fuck it did. The cops will say he ran away, or they'll find whatever's left and blame wild dogs. But I know what I saw. Danny knows, Crystal knows. It's still in there. And the worst part, I can still hear it. Even now, with my ears ringing and my heart hammering, I can hear it. Click, click, click. It's getting closer.
Subject: Interrogation Room 6. User: DT49 Roger. Posted November 24th, 1998.
I've worked 22 years in this department. Long enough to know what it looks like when someone breaks. Doesn't matter if you're holding a knife, curled up in a stolen Civic, or standing in the rain holding a dead girl's purse. It's the eyes. That 1,000-yard stare like your soul's already halfway gone. I seen it on vets, seen it on junkies, saw it on my partner once, but I never saw eyes like this. We found him on the shoulder of Old Mill Road, barefoot and shivering, covered in blood. Not all of it his. The girl, his sister apparently, was lying on the floor just inside the house. Shot in the chest at close range with a 12-gauge. She'd driven up from Memphis to check on him. That much we confirmed, but The rest, the rest is where it gets muddy. He didn't say a word for the first 2 hours, just sat there in interrogation room 6, staring at the mirrored glass like he was waiting for it to blink. When I finally went in to talk to him, he spoke before I sat down. She's gonna be mad I left. I didn't respond. Opened the file, laid out the photos. Bloody footprints, gun on the floor, autopsy report not yet stapled. I asked him to walk me through what happened. He looked at me, right at me, not through me, and said, "She was in the window again." Then, quieter, almost like a prayer, "The woman in the window." That's how it started. Said he inherited the house from his grandmother. No running water, roof sagged like a beer belly. Lived across the street from a row of condemned properties. Real picturesque. Said he started seeing her the third night. A woman, long hair, pale face, standing at the second floor window of the house across the street. Same time, every night, didn't blink, just watched me. He lit a cigarette with a shaky hand. I let it slide. No one told me this guy smoked. Where the hell did he get a cigarette? I kept going. He claimed it should show up in reflective surfaces. The microwave, TV screens, even saw her standing behind him in the bathroom mirror. Said he started covering everything up, duct tape, newspapers, even aluminum foil. She started whispering to me, he said, voice like gravel scraping over concrete. Not words, just breath. And I swear to God, Detective, one night the microwave turned on by itself and I saw her reflection in the door. I asked him about the gun, about his sister. She thought I was losing it, said I needed help. She didn't see the signs. She didn't hear the laughter. He gripped the edge of the table hard enough to make it groan. I didn't mean to hurt her. I was trying to shoot her. He pointed to the wall behind me like she might have been standing there. I told him that sounded like psychosis. He didn't argue, just muttered. She wanted me to kill her, to make room. By that point, I'd heard enough. Chalked it up to a stress-induced break. Maybe drugs, but his talk screen did come back clean. Kid looked like he hadn't slept in weeks, though. Pale, sunken, the kind of man who'd seen something he couldn't explain and decided to live in that moment forever. I filed the report, contacted the DA, and waited for the paperwork to shuffle its slow-ass way through the system. I would have left it there, just another sad, bloody chapter in a dying town, except something started bothering me. I went back through the old case files, specifically one from 1974, a missing persons report. Woman named Mabel Allerton, 22. She vanished without a trace. Last seen at a house on the same street, directly across from the one this guy had inherited. Only thing anyone remembered was she kept to herself and looked a little ghostly. That house, the same one our suspect claimed she stood in every night, had been gutted by fire in 1975. No one rebuilt and it was condemned, and yet when I drove by, there was no sign of fire damage, just a sagging porch and boarded up windows. Still, curiosity's a son of a bitch. That night, I stayed late, popped the VHS back in the deck, not sure what I was looking for. At the 3:12 a.m. mark, the tape glitched. Just for a second, the screen scrambled, like someone had paused it and then hit rewind. When it cleared up, the suspect wasn't looking at the table anymore. He was looking directly into the camera, smiling. I hit pause, rewound, hit play again, and this time the glitch didn't happen, but the smile was still there. I checked the counter on the tape, 3:12 a.m., same time he said the microwave turned on by itself. I didn't sleep that night. Next day, I went back to the house, off the books. Just wanted to take a look, maybe ease the itch in my brain. The house across the street was exactly how he described it. Dead windows, sagging roof, no signs of life. And yet, I could have sworn there was something behind the upstairs glass. A pale shape. Could have been reflection, sure. Could have been a curtain caught in a draft. Could have been, but it was the porch light that did it. The one over the suspect's house. As I turned to leave, the bulb blinked on. Not a flicker, full-on glow. Problem was, I'd stood in that living room the day we pulled the body. The power was cut at the breaker. I backed away slow. Didn't look up at the window again. I didn't want to know if she was watching me. That was 4 nights ago. Since then, I've been sleeping in the recliner with the TV unplugged, covered the bathroom mirror with an old sheet, and microwave started making this soft ticking sound like something tapping from inside. And last night at exactly 3:12, my bedroom door creaked open and I live alone. I believe him now.
Fear Daily is an independent podcast hosted by Brandon Schexnayder and written by Brennan Storr, with Joanna Smith serving as the consulting editor, audio production by Rachel Boyd, and sound design by Southern Gothic Media. This podcast is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents are either products of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or to real events or locations, is entirely coincidental. Ad-free versions of Fear Daily are available now on your favorite podcast apps. For more information, visit feardaily.com. But move fast, before the server goes offline.